Solving equations using division. In some equations, it's necessary to use division on both sides of the equation in order to be able to solve for the variable. In the problem I have written on the board, we have negative 3x is equal to 15. You'll remember that negative 3x means the same as negative 3 times x. Since I have multiplied something times my variable, and I want the variable to stand alone, I need to do the opposite thing to get rid of that number. Since negative 3 is multiplied by x, I want to divide by negative 3. When I divide by negative 3, I need to remember to do it on both sides of the equation. On the left-hand side, it's very convenient to use that division because the 3's will cancel out, leaving me with x, which is what I want to solve for. So I have x is equal to 15 divided by negative 3. 15 divided by negative 3 is negative 5. So the solution to my equation appears to be negative 5. Of course, I want to check the solution, so I'm going to substitute negative 5 back into my original equation. You can see the original equation written in blue up here. So I'll put negative 5 in, and I'll have negative 3 times negative 5 is equal to 15. When I multiply these together, negative 3 times negative 5 is 15, which is equal to 15. So the solution to my equation checks out. The solution to my equation is negative 5. When you have a number multiplied times your variable, you want to undo that number by dividing, and you want to remember to divide on both sides of the equation. We use the method of division to help us solve some word problems. Here's an example on the board. It says the race car traveled 24 miles while racing around the track 12 times. How long was the racetrack? If we look at the last question, it says how long was the racetrack? So the length of the racetrack is what we're trying to find. And we're going to let that be represented by the variable t. So in our equation, we know we've got a racetrack of a certain length, and we know we've driven around it 12 times. So however long the track is, we know we have gone around that track 12 times, and our length will be represented by 12 times the length of the track. We also know by looking back at the problem that the car has gone 24 miles in all. So we know it's 12 times around the track is equal to 24. In this problem, we want to solve for t. We want to get the t by itself, and we notice that we have 12 times t. To undo something multiplied times a variable, we want to do division. I'm going to divide by this number so I can get it to cancel out. If I divide by 12 on the left, I want to make sure to divide by 12 on the right. On the left-hand side of the equation, the 12's will cancel out, leaving us with t. So I have t equals 24 divided by 12, which is 2. Now remember, we're talking about miles, so we want to label our problem carefully as 2 miles. So we believe that the track is 2 miles long. We'll check it back in our problem. We know that the race car has gone around the track 12 times. If it's gone around the track 12 times and the track is 2 miles long, we want to see if that's equal to the total distance traveled of 24 miles. 12 times 2 is 24. So our problem checks out. And we know that the racetrack is 2 miles long. In a problem where you have a number multiplied times the variable, you want to do division on both sides to solve for that variable.
This is a pile driver driving I-beams into the ground. If the company charges $2,200 for 8 hours of work for this pile driver, what is the cost per hour? Let's do the math. So the cost for 8 hours is $2,200, and we want to find out what is the cost for per hour, 1 hour. So we'll make that x. So for 8x, which is per hour, equals 2,200. To solve this, we want to isolate the x. So we divide each side by 8. So if we divide one side, we've got to divide the other side by 8. So that will neutralize the x. X equals, let's go to the calculator, 2,200 divided by 8 equals $275. And to just double check our answer, all we have to do is substitute 8 times 275 equals 2,200. And we got the 275 still in the calculator, times 8 equals 2,200. So 2,200 equals 2,200. So the answer checks out. And this is what you got to do with equations. They always should equal each other. That equal sign is very important, because this is saying this equals this. And so remember, whatever you do on one side of the equation, always do on the other side. And if you do that, you'll always get the right answer.
Please pause the video now and complete the problems in your workbook. When finished, press play, and we'll continue with the next lesson.